Hello and welcome to another coaching video. In this one we have a Platinum Vi main and a Platinum Master Yi. Obviously his name is extremely relevant to his desire to eloflate himself with duo-ness. However, the Vi, Platinum 3 MMR game, but I'm seeing some inting in the match history. I'm seeing some deplorable actions that have me confused, and thus I opened this replay to get some more information. We have obviously the Master Yi starting on the bottom side here, we're starting on this side. Nice little ward here placed by the Master Yi early, something we talk about quite a bit in my content across all channels. Do we go for this risky level 1 to see where they begin, or is it necessary? Now here you could ask, okay, look, should we have placed a ward? I say no. Why? Because this guy leashes and goes to lane late. Missing mana potentially. Same thing for the bottom lane. The thing is that of course becomes interesting against those champions who can go very leashless, and obviously my game you the early clears, but I still don't think that's necessarily as valuable. Would prefer to save those things for other regards. I like this from the Master Yi. We do the red, we do the Krugs, the chain misses obviously, well the chain, the root. The Fizz does commit the Warrior Trickster and then flashes. So we probably should have gone in with the root in case it hit. The Fizz turns back here after wasting his flash. Auto attack cancel there from the Yi. That was just abysmal from the mechanical perspective, but jungle decision making, I liked it. But the good news is the game you played before this video will be the last one where you don't have control. And that, my friends, is a Virkayu.gg guarantee. The only site dedicated to jungle improvement through video courses for your MMR, 3 weekly jungle newsletter tips, as well as an improvement PDF, and of course the coaching VOD library, guiding you every step of the way as you climb from low elo all the way up to challenger, as everyone in your friends list is left wanting with jealousy. Whether your goal is gold, diamond, or even master plus, the reviews show you that that can be achieved. Any course gained between now and July 1st will be eligible for the next phase of Virkayu.gg for absolute free that will start on that date. And because it's the end of the split, why not a 20% discount until July 1st as well? Virkayu.gg, jungler's learning paradise. Red, Krugs, the intent to do 3, gankable lane. Releasing a main channel video this week that's going to discuss this sort of concept from a level 1 perspective. Obviously this ward here, placed by the Vi, gives us a lot of good vision early on. Now, I don't like this ward right now, right? I prefer this ward at 108 if you're afraid of getting invaded. And again, main channel video will cover all of this information. But the Vi doing this odd sort of stuff is just strange to me, right? Because look at this. We go from red to Raptors. We know that Yi starts down here with a leash. Is a Yi typically something that's going to invade and cheese you here? No. Do we maybe expect him to do it purely because they expect us to do red, Raptors, Krugs, and go to the top lane? Potentially. So if you're confused about that and worried about that, just 108, snap a ward here early, do your regular clear, and you will get all the information you need. And if you place it at 108, right, it gives you all the protection versus right now where it's silly. And if you're going to do this, it's better to do red, Krugs, Raptors, get level 3, look for this counter gank, or gank as you expected. And you know what, if you're doing red Krugs Raptors in a regular clear and you see this, you can cut down now. As we be crossing, right, we can now move down to this gank here, maybe get a cleanup kill, maybe we can get something safe, maybe we can hit a Q that does something. And if there's no chance of saving the Fizz and you agree in your eyes, okay, look, there's no point doing that, then you can just carry on about your business. And we can do a full clear. We can look bottom lane, is this gankable? Do I cut out the wolves and simply go blue grop and then gank it? All the subsequent decision-making procedures go through your mind, and I expect Platinum junglers to be able to do that. I like to cut from the Yi. Advantageous, adventurous, all words beginning with an A. This guy's pushed in, obviously. Leash versus no leash. Fiora, for some reason, is in the game. Honestly, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting champion. Still always has been, always will be. Vi is now just chilling. Slow full clear. Not even full clear, it's a 5 camper. Obviously, we're paying attention to all this stuff as a Vi, as you see it, right? We know what the Yi's kind of doing at this point. 8 CS crosses mid goes up. We know he's doing this, doesn't show for the dive. This is where a lot of champions, your Kindreds, your Leases, your Nautiluses even, most high elo junglers will be looking to capitalize on this. And we have covered on this channel, even if you don't explicitly want to do it in this particular case, because there is both sums, wave is a lot more thinned out than expected, you do want to have an eye for it, right? Do we leave them alone? Can they handle it? Do we worry more about this as we're watching right here, where your focus is going to be? Just things to keep an eye on, because we have on this channel covered that Skarner example where the guy was super duper low, and we had a hugely fat wave, and we could have done something about it. But the Yi now is going to go back to his Scuttle Crab, but you see the difference? You see it? You see it? What is it? As I always say with Platinum junglers. He isn't thinking about the Vi. The Vi wasn't thinking about him, but she was. But she was thinking about him in the most incorrect way possible. So how do we bring that back? Like the Vi's over here, the Yi's over, in another stratosphere, just doing his own thing, which, I mean, most Yi players will do. For the Vi, you've got to not waste energy thinking about things that are rarely going to happen, not going to happen. Can I press buttons? Thank you. And then compromise yourself, which is what she did. But I'm glad she was still thinking about possibilities. But, you know, it's like that Z tier kindred mid stuff and all the other things that come from those kind of discussions. Yeah, in a perfect universe where one of a trillion things happen, this can work. Yeah, right? It's not likely to work. So focus on the things that are more likely to work. Now we have here the Yi does cancel because he sees this potential trait, or maybe he thinks about the Vi. I don't think he was thinking about the Vi. I just think he thought, hey, why don't I gank mid lane again? Vi shows up, she goes all in for the commit, overcommits into the wave there. The Nico's gonna live chugging potions. She's tanking the waves. The Yi's gonna keep go do his thing here. You wanna see in the quick, why would you go back in there if you're Nico? There we go, there we go. Nicely done. So the Vi overthinks Master Yi to a high degree. The Yi just vibes, man. I'm thinking about the lanes. I'm full clearing, I'm 5 camping, I'm crabbing. Hey, maybe I can gank the mid lane again. It would have been even more juicy if this was someone who was streaming and actually, you know, said, the Vi should be finishing up that crab now. I might come mid lane because it's pushed up. Why don't I sit and hover? If that was the case, then that's exactly what you should be thinking for, and then you will end up not being platinum very long. End of story. So, excellent start by the Master Yi. Abysmal start by the Vi, who does rotate to hold the mid lane, which is at least some sort of juice. Now the Yi goes through the Scuttle Crab, which we should know is dead. How do we know it's dead? Quick quiz. Quickly. I expect people to be thinking about these things. We see 24 CS. That means a full clear, right? That means the Scuttle Crab's still available, right? No. Level 3. 24 with level 3 means he didn't do a camp. Most likely an edge camp. Usually, Krugs. Shouldn't be the case, but it is. And thus, the Scuttle is taken, because if you were full clearing with 24 CS and you were level 4, then it would be. So, missed opportunity by the Yi to kind of really push himself. Let's just speed run this back down. Bottom lane in the meantime is super low. Vi's holding this. He's going to go across this because he does want to gank it. I don't know why he's wasting his time. Everyone's going to see, you might as well just walk damn well through it. And they're going to back off. So wasting his time, the Vi sees it, compromises her route to collapse on the Master Yi and gets that kill. Nicely done. So, I don't want a results basis. Ooh, gaming, mega gaming, super gaming, blue team gaming. See, I don't want to results based because it's all stupid. It shouldn't be happening. The Vi holds this, sees as they back off, right? We know we have tier 1 Krugs, tier 2 second spawn Raptors, tier 2, tier 2. Our experience is going to be higher here, so if anything, I might try and do something somewhere else. Like, can I gank this lane pre-6? Is this something I can deal with to help my Darius snowball in a snowballing lane? Can I do this, and help this guy? Can I rotate down to this maybe? You know, I like holding mid lane for some experience, and when you see the Yi go here, I like shadowing. But if you're truly concerned about it, you can just do your walls and do your grump in case he's going to invade you, and then maybe we could gank the lane if necessary. But your bot lane was fine. I do like that we all collapsed onto the Yi. But that's largely because he did a lazy base. If he just didn't do this in the first place, which he shouldn't have, we wouldn't be in that situation. You understand? It kind of plays off of itself. You get a spiral of shit noodles in the Zeno sometimes, and you know, you're talking about the right decision, wrong decision so often, but no one should be in that situation at all. Now, here from the Vi, again, like, I don't understand what necessarily that we're seeing. We leave the base, right? We go for the Sheen, looking at this level 6 now. We're doing the Krug level 4, so we don't want to gank that lane. And we cut to the mid lane with no scanner. We're not tracking the Nico's positioning. She shoved up, so did she ward here? Did she ward here? And this is a very strange lane at this stage, right? Because this guy goes from here into this RG Scuttle zone. The Vi and him should be meeting right now, right? Like, the Vi should be finishing this and meeting here. I know she wants to capitalize on this, but you're 4, the Nico's 5, the Fizz has got nothing. 6 minutes 20, how is no one level 6? Because of all the nonsense and the experience sharing and everything. Now we show we go back up, so this gives this guy what? Total and undying control of this dragon. Because if I most likely, if we're the Master Yi now, even though we're platinum, there's still silver tendencies sometimes. So what do you think the Vi is going to do after doing the Raptors, knowing that the red is just respawn? I would expect the Vi to still go for this red, and we could go and counter jungle her. And then we could do something bot lane, or we could just keep farming it all. Or just reset and go Fistus Herald, and protect our blue side. The Vi also could say, what about this side because he's doing the dragon maybe? Let's have a look. Nope. Nope. That's the difference, my friends, between those who will get diamond and those who will not. This Yi has had a very good early game. Now she does a red after the Raptors, moves to do her camp. We're going to alpha this Q, get knocked against the turret or whatever knocked means. Animation can't, I mean, sometimes the plot, I was about to compliment him. If he plays like this every game, if he now has a measured approach to denial and make sure she stays behind, because of course, all the gold content I put out, which will become platinum content upon split 2, as platinum becomes emerald, is about jungle denial. And when you have the advantage and you're able to do it, you should be doing it. And, we have here the Vi, absolutely horrific gank pathing, absolutely horrific jungle decision making, absolutely oblivious to everything. This person will be platinum 4 unless things change. Maybe a lucky streak to plat 3, plat 2. We'll go back down because it's all coin flip. It's all no thinking. And while the Yi isn't exactly, apparently as we see here, hopping off into perfection, it's at least better proactive juggling. Hey, I see a gank. I'm going to do it. All right, I'm going to do this and do this. Maybe the Vi's here and I can gank it. Oh, look, they are. Cool. Vi shows up and goes up. Okay, free dragon. You see, like that kind of mindset is so important. So let's speed roll a little bit to see what happens now. I will go back to base. 1-2-1. Mercy threw away his lead. Alpha ring too soon on that Q. We're going to do that Raptor and go to the top side here. Soraka roams randomly to the mid lane. Vi's like, I better do the Scuttle Crab bot lane. Like, we got you, bro. Yeah, we can do this. 3-man versus Scuttle Crab. Yep. I can go on the other tube side, I think. Here, the Nico clearing that vision. Vi's gonna flash in to hit the Q, to hit the R upon the Ashe R. That's a lot invested for that kill, but if Soraka has no flash, he's a free kill as well. Let's try and give it away because we're useless, piss useless. He doesn't sweat. He says, my friends, relax, for I will take the Herald, as you should. Doesn't finish the Gromp and then go. The Herald says immediately, Herald. Why? Because Vibot used all. Gotta fall back to his side. It shows no proactivity in a jungle decision making the whole game. Let's go ahead and take this objective. Now, we snack it up. It gets pinged. Darius goes in straight into the Fiora, says, maybe I could do something. He says, all right, I can do something. Darius says, but I am Darius. Dead man. Not winning man. Now, the Vi holds top lane. Ooh, cannon wave being activated. Master Yi has super ultimate still activation as well. Fiora has no more mana in the pocket. Well, in the things that I've seen on this planet, that is in fact one of them. Oof. By main. Now the guy just has alpha. Let's have a look to see what happens again. Hey! Channel, attack, channel. There we go. Yeah, there we go. Come on, kill her. I'm sorry. I try to be as entertaining but also educationally sensitive as much as I can on this channel, because obviously I'm not truly making fun of everybody. We're all on this journey together, but that was horrific. Listen, Fizz rotated, that's a good job. That was horrific. And, the Yi, again, good snack, good turn. Fizz shows up, we get eaten. That's okay, like, we'll handle that. I'm okay with that as Master Yi, because, again, every death, while it's terrible on Master Yi, you still scale with gold better than anybody else. So, like, we got way more gold there than we could possibly imagine. And again, the Vi, no strategic sense. Out of base to Raptors, why? Are we going up to do Krugs into the red, into this, into diving this? Get something back and giving up the dragon? Or do we want the dragon, so maybe we should do the red side or this into this cross? Or should we just do like a little cut and do Raptors, Wolves, Gromp into the dragon? Like there's a whole bunch of little things we could do strategically without pathing, like if we just animate it from the base here, right? The dragon's respawning. My bot lane are in base. I only have Gromp available. Sure, Wolf Camp is spawning. This is going to spawn, this is going to spawn. Why don't I just go Krugs, Raptors, and then cut in? Maybe we can do something about this dragon. We're not winning. Maybe I can kill the Nico before the dragon. Shove and get some plates, force them to hold. That's probably the safest play, but again, doesn't think about doing those kind of things and just goes straight for the Raptor camp here. Almost goes to the Krug camp little loop, and now says, oh, dragon, by the way, we have created prior here the Fizz by ourselves. She just goes straight to started. There's no consideration of, hey, maybe we should kill the Nico first, man. I've ult up. Maybe we should dive bot lane. Obviously, bot lane in this particular case, we know went back to base, and we of course know that the Master Yi is thinking, I must come for this gank, because she can't just do it blindly. I know my bot lane reset, so I have to give up the dragon, but maybe she comes for this as well. Important to note, right? The mind games here. So I'm okay with just, let's go for the dragon, because their bot lane reset. That's cool and wonderful. But as we all know, if this Nico is fed and has prio, if this Yi is fed, which she is, and is with her, and we misplay it, 2v3, they can win that. And again, I'm referencing this because I just saw it in, in some boss scouting earlier. So we'll go ahead and snack this. I like the take here in terms of, all right, look, let's pull the trigger, bot lane's base, we can go. The Yi, instead of just accepting this, is, hey, why don't I go in? Which is, of course, a little bit silly here. Again, throwing that lead. Wow. But I hope that guy has no ultimate, which he doesn't. Ashe is chasing. Oof, we get it. All right. So, again, as with always in this ELO, I explained something and the total opposite of something I didn't imagine was possible happens. And it's usually a bit of a fiesta nonsense zone. Just so you know. So, bot lane goes back to base, pull the trigger on the dragon. I'm okay with that. But she was not thinking about it leaving base. We can all agree on that. And the Yi was thinking maybe she should create Prio first, just to guarantee some plate push, safety of the Fizz, and a more free dragon. Which is technically true. But it is what it is. We snuck it away. Worst case scenario, we fall back to our side. We loop back and full clear, just catch up. And look for this, look for this. And of course the Master Yi decided, no, I also want to do a silly. And he did a silly indeed. Darius is now 0-4-0 from that gank by the Yi after the Herald, and of course smashing the gold income for the Fiora. Vi is now just piss farming. Off we go. Hey, a Scuttle Crab. We're gonna lose that to the Darius, but I think we owe him that. Now the Raptor camp is out of sync with everything else. So I made a video on the main channel a few months ago now, talking about leaving one of these camps up. Not a few months ago, last month. It's called Bad Habits in the thumbnail. Bad Habits. And they just leave one camp up all the time. Like we did the Raptors go for the fight. And now it's a disparate spawn time between the camps, right? They don't spawn together. And so that causes a lot of issues. Now, it looks like this has just evolved into both junglers. Okay, one jungler's fed, but both junglers are still compromised, right? They're still very severely compromised. So this is crashing here, the Fizz is here, the Yi's gonna wanna go in, the Vi moves down to join. I like this a lot. We hit that ult and Nico shows up. We'll get that kill as well, hopefully. There we go, 2 kills for the Vi. Very nicely done. That's good, that's good. Projection, right? From the red team's perspective, low turret, Yi's gonna wanna do something, got good deep vision. Let's rotate, join the Fizz, make the numbers play. Now I can fall back and take all the shit, and we can carry on. I like it. No, you fool! Just take it, man. Like, I know the Fellows is fine, but just take your stuff here. Don't be too generous, yeah. You're Platinum, you need to control games. You're the carry, you're behind a little bit. It's cool to give red, but you shouldn't need to until this is gone. It's golden experience possible. I know we have one. Get that we have one. It is expiring. I get that we have one, but it's not about the buff. But the gold, the experience, and the ability to gap close your deficit to the Master Yi. So, Darius is now still 0-4-0, excuse me. Which, to be honest, is amazing. Like, I would have thought he died a lot more than that. Now, the Yi was on the bottom side, so the Yi's most likely on the top side. So as we go chasing down this Fiora, we know that the Yi's most likely going to show up, which he does on wards. The arrow is cinematic, as per usual. And it's Fiora with a huge lead, and a Yi who has a lead. And an Ashe who rotated and followed you for no reason, and that will be the throw of the day. Yeah. From this, what happens? Now we're at a big deficit. So if you're asking what to do with Zavai in these kinds of games, the question isn't what do I do at this point in the game to win? Because you've seen absolute nonsensical pathing and fights and everything that's gotten us to this point in the first place. And yes, here you give it up. You give it up unless you can straight up win the fight guaranteed. You have a Soraka that you need to kill first and foremost, which of course we are able to get a kill a little bit onto the Kai'Sa, not the Soraka, but we have the Soraka healing a Yi, we got a fed Fiora, this guy's by himself. Like, right now is not the time to be farming this. Right now is the time, right now is not the time to be contesting this. It's right for him to farm this. Shove, gold, experience, bounty, turret, snag. If you're the Vi, take your camps and go up away from them. If you're going down, just make sure you get everything. Push out as much as you can without risking vision line exposure. If you're going bottom to top and you know they're going for the dragon, counter jungle something here. Shadow the Darius a little bit, right? Shadow the Darius a little bit, and then get out. Just farm as much as you can and give up this dragon. Good that you snuck that fire dragon first, because that allows you to give this second one up to them without dying again. Which of course we didn't do. So now basically it's a state of we're 2, 5, and 6 with 6.3 thousand gold. Yi has 9.4 thousand gold. Our pathing is inefficient. Our Darius is dying because of the Yi. The Yi had better impact in mid lane, had better impact in top lane, and while he didn't explicitly do a lot bot lane, and we did help bot lane a lot, doesn't matter, right? Because he repeat ganks and now he's super strong. True damage, Herald, Fish shows up here. Okay, now he overcommits, but this is the thing, right? Like, the Yi's got to learn to stop doing this. All of you have to stop. Like, why are we doing this? We know we just killed the Darius who shoved away. If we're not going to use the Herald, back off. Why? Because you're looking from blue team's perspective. Where's our team at this moment? Ah, Fiora's dead. Oh, of course, so we have no pressure down here. Everyone else is mid lane. You know, the Nico is busy being a minion somewhere. I couldn't even check that because, let me click this. No, because it doesn't let me. Great. So when she shows up, she'll show up. Where is she exactly? Let's find out. There she is. Okay, there she is. Obviously. Now remember, in-game, if you press tab and she's in the mini wave, there won't be a question mark on her, right? So just press tab, you know she's in the wave. You can kind of pre-suspect it. And of course, you can count the minions in the wave to know she's in it or not in it. It just looks like this is going to be a very one-sided affair from the team fighting perspective at this stage. Let's see what we can do here from red team's perspective. Ash Arrow, another kill. That's great. Vi is dead. He is going to respawn here. Probably rotate over. Red team gets another turret. That's good. Okay, he decides to go to 1v3. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, next dragon fight. Just use your brains a little bit. Okay, I killed someone. I don't have the Herald activation. Like, it's not good for me to use it right now. Teammates are dead. They're rotating up to me. I'm just going to leave. Just leave. Pull back and either take your camps or shadow mid lane and make this a giga fight, right? Like, if you're the Yi, if you pull out here, force 2 rotation, cut down mid lane, join the Nico, kill everyone, 4v3 because you're fed, activate the Herald, boom, 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 cut through here, take all of the shit, shove this sucker up, take this, nice, back to base. Everyone now you can go and flex this if there's no dragons. You can just go do this with the Fiora very, very easily, and the Soraka if you really need to. Not really, but whatever. And then you can contest this afterwards, and that's the game if you're the Master Yi. So that's how you win if you're the Master Yi, not going in 1v3 all the time. It's the biggest mistake most Yis make. However, we have here the Darius out of position. They see the Darius out of position. He's like, I better go in. I cannot be slowed. We alpha into a Virkayu into a Vi ult, and Soraka is doing some godly work on the top side here. Holy shit, that is why people hate enchanters, but also why teamfighting position is important, and the red team did not get it right. The Yi was just obliterated, but they have a Soraka. He did a good job. She did a good job. She did a good job, and that's it. They can go do this. We're just going to go straight to the Baron. Fine, Darius might try and counter this, but I don't think you can. Your last hope in hell here is to steal this, so you might as well try. We went too soon! Cortana, why did we go too soon? Siri, how to smite a Baron? Yeah, okay, everyone respawns and we're shoving this up with a Baron push. And again, I hate always the questions because you get this a lot, you know, and I cover it explicitly in my VOD content across the board, you know, what to do in mid games and late games, because I don't want to cover it every video, because it's often you get a lot of comparisons from game to game, and there's a lot of commonalities and things like that. So I will leave a link to the mid game and team fighting guides that I have released that will aid you in this particular game if you're the red team, if you're the blue team. And it's a nice little swing back for the red team here. Again, like, you've got to be cautious about it, but it's all about team fighting mechanics. Knowing what your target is. We'll jump forward again because there's no kills for a while. Next dragon, like, this is good if you're the red team, right? Not fighting unnecessarily until you have to, using turrets for your advantage, not getting picked off. This is really, really good. So let's see what happens in this particular team fight. Fizz again looking for the flank. Did they actually win here a 4v5? Let's see. Now I'm interested, actually. So they go over the wall. Nika's going to hit a double ult here. The Yi's on the back line. The Vi is way too deep. She's dead. We're going to make sure we kill the Ashe as well. We will die to the Darius of the Fizz. Kais is going to go to the back line against the Phyllis. ADC versus ADC crime. The Fizz is trying to dive the Soraka, getting silenced. Obviously, the Nico's doing her best. The Phyllis does kill the Kaisa. Fizz is now a little bit low. Does get exhausted. The Nico and the Soraka. Here we go. Range is Phyllis' enemy, but he is Aphelios. Therefore, he is Giga. We're going to go ahead and kill everybody. Fiora has reconnected. Ah, I see it now. She flashes. She dashes. She does what she can. I mean, good champion. Good champion. Good champion. Very good. All right. And then we're going to reconvene and do it again. Vi shows up now. Yeah. This is the textbook platinum game, if there ever was one. Can we all agree on that? No counterplays, just back and forth, running in one at a time. Another kill there. Fizz shows up again. We alpha that knock up. Huge damage here from the Master Yi. Just gonna swap targets and one shot basically almost the Soraka. Can we do the dragon now? Thank you so much. Alright, there we go. Bottom wave is crashing, your fellas is respawned. Probably want to go for the Baron, but Vi will be up and Yi won't be, so they cannot. So they're gonna push this up, okay? Gonna take the Scuttle Crab, get deep vision, take the plant away. Very good. Yes. Basics. Alright, now the Darius is again splitting past vision line. If you're the red team and you see this, don't be here. No. Now he's been collapsed upon, so the red team decide, do we fight this or do we not? He is dead. Are they out of position enough for us to go in? Nice double Q knockup. Heroes on the front line. The Fizz does kill. The Nika also dies. So that's a good swap here. The Yee's on the back line now, again, going 1v4, unnecessarily gets rinsed by the Aphelios, who's now 200 Gs, also rinsed by Kai'Sa. Such is the way of this game. Clencher, what a clencher. This must be fun to play. It's not very educational because it's just weird team fighting back and forth. And now again, no one dies for 2 minutes as we all posture over no inhibs being taken and the Baron call. So let's see what we do. Now, if you're the red team, you know you've won a couple fights, you know you've normalized the game completely, you know you can do things with Aphelios, with Fizz, with the right fight. But you have a very chunked Ashe who needs to reset. They're going to pull the trigger on this. Can Vi steal this? Slow down here. You in. Alright, we got in the back of the pitch here. Ulting the Master Yi into a Nika ult. Vi is able to steal it, which is great, but at what cost because we're so split up? The Vi does die. The Fizz is on the back of the screen here, very, very deep, trying to get some kills. The whole blue team turns in to help. The whole blue team turns in to help the Darius too, and the Aphelios is in the back line. The Ashe is in the back line. So if you're going to go for the steal, they'll lose from this. If you're going to go for the steal, let your Vi do it, but it's important that no one else goes in. Let your jungler do it. If they get it, hooray. Just hold with the Baron. I know they have Soul, but you just gotta hold. Give up and in him. Hold until Elder, make one good fight with Elder, and you win the game. That's it. That's how you win. And unfortunately, the Vi went and got a good steal, but the rest of the team kind of distorted themselves, and now they'll die for it. Now, the Vi did get a good steal, but it was a terrible game. She does not deserve to win this one. The Yi did play very well half the time, and then half the time ran in and died way too much. So, as always, the mid and late game team fighting videos will be linked in the description. But this is the most platinum game I've seen in a long time. Thank you very much to everyone who participated. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. There will be a bootcamp at the start of Split 2 as well with Ghost Academy and Virkayu.gg. I will leave that below, as well as, obviously, all of the information you need to become a better jungler. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.